Hey, so it's time to like test out this microphone to see how's the sound, how's the visual, and I'm about to watch this video that I made a year ago. So this is gonna be the overlay for that video. And I got the idea from Bo in his documentary Inside. It was fantastic, and I feel like his year inside and my year trying to launch this business, like there's some overlay in the feelings there. So if you haven't watched the documentary, I highly recommend it. Bo, thank you for the idea. This is about to happen. All right, so I got my clipboard because I like taking notes, and I'm going to be ripping myself apart, so I want to make sure to get that on paper as well. There might be some background noise because the house is still under construction. It's almost done. We're putting the insulation on, but there's still some work to do. So if there's any background noise, I apologize in advance because my buddy Steve is a great editor. I just put this shit on raw, so it's all going to be there. You're here. Appreciate you. Thank you for your time. And now I'm going to press play. So that was the wrong place to press play because I can't actually hear it. So I'm going to watch it full screen. You're going to be seeing this in a full screen option. Okay, it started.
Because you want to get more life out of life. And you're looking for some actionable ways to make that happen.
This guy thought he knew what he was doing.
What you're about to watch is the distillation of 3 years of soul searching with over 200 books read and countless conversations. I, someone who thrives.
Yeah, I want to see that one.
Now, it's my job to challenge others so they too can thrive. That's what I hope you'll find here. A way to challenge yourself.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for thrive at this point. Fucking desperate for it.
Break free from. But just like learning how to juggle balls, every time we fail, we need to get back up and try again. During this video, I'll explain the importance of a longevity mindset and why juggling your time between your mind, your body, and your money is crucial. Of course, we'll delve into how you can grow in each of these areas and what you can do to get started. Right now, you might feel like you're juggling too much or you dropped the ball,
mate.
You don't really know what to do next.
That one.
That's fine. You're here because you're ready to start doing Welcome.
I'm ready.
Let's begin.
Thank you.
For most of human history, we have lived in a linear world. Things either stayed the same or got incrementally better.
Substantially worse.
You kept the seeds from the highest producing crops one year to get a bigger, better crop the next year. Then, the Industrial Revolution began an explosive reaction. Technology started changing.
I'm still waiting for this explosive reaction.
And now, AI has gotten in the mix. And it's only going to get faster. Jobs are
there was an edit there. That was before I decided to stop editing stuff.
Could start a job fresh out of high school or even without a diploma and do that job until they retire. We will be lucky if our skills keep us relevant for more than 5 years. Continued personal growth has gone from a thing reserved for the super motivated to necessary.
Yeah, this part I still agree with.
In a weird way.
Continued personal growth is definitely necessary. I have learned a lot this year.
Thanks to the internet, it's easier than ever to access all sorts of information. Also thanks to the internet, we have unlimited distractions.
So many distractions.
To poke our pleasure button and keep us mindlessly engaged.
I was not engaged.
That's where juggling comes in.
I was juggling way too much.
We need to replace boastful multitasking with a new superpower.
This guy knew his stuff.
Multitasking is just single tasking multiple things in parallel. Often,
I have so many papers on the ground, you have no idea.
When you're juggling your tasks, you only work on one thing at a time. You do this, and then you do that.
What's that one thing?
There's not this and that. There's only ever this. Work for a time, then rest for a time, then get your blood pumping, then do some more work, taking advantage of your ultradian rhythm. That's how you get amazing
I'm going to pause here. He just said results. This is for me to refer later. because I asked a question, what's that one thing? And I want to give credit to Michael Bunge-Stenia, I think that's how you say his name, I probably butchered it, for that question. On the shelf, you see the little blue line there, which on your screen is probably pretty tiny. It's the Do Something Great journal. And it has helped me substantially over the past 3 months. I finished it on Friday. And over the past 3 months, I have been asking myself every single working day the 4 questions in that book. What do you notice? What do you want? What's that one thing? And then what's the best thing that happened? Those 4 questions have helped me hone my mission. They have helped me figure out what it is that I want to do. And what's that one thing? Well, right now, actually, I'll be honest with you, whoever you are. That one thing is this video. Because a year ago, I made this masterclass and did nothing with it. It's been sitting in my computer in horrible fuzzy quality ever since. And it's going to be published exactly with that quality. So I'm 3 minutes in and let's get back started.
Plowing through, but by switching before it gets too easy or it gets boring.
Yeast.
Humans, like yeast, need a challenge to thrive. Hold up. Yeast?
He had just retired from the wine industry, so he was like super excited about yeast and wine stuff.
As I am. I studied yeast thoroughly as a winemaker, which is basically just a glorified biochemist. As an undergraduate, I experimented.
He makes it sound like that's what he was supposed to do, but actually he got in shit by his supervisors because he just made stuff up and ended up doing his own experiment, not at all what they wanted him to do. At the end, they asked him if he wanted to stay to continue his research. So I guess it was pretty okay.
Nitrogen can come in 2 forms: direct,
miscommunication,
or indirect. The direct being like us having a protein shake, and the indirect being like us having a nice meal. My experiment was.
By the way, don't think that this guy is like this great public speaker or anything. Look at those eyes. His eyes are fixed. He is using a prompter, and he's even tried to space it so that he can just read
lots of
the
sugar.
thing.
Yum, 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 yum. In contrast, the yeast that was fed the complex diet started sluggish, slowly multiplying and eating the sugar at a more leisurely pace, essentially savoring their meal.
This lesson's good though. Take your time.
The fast eaters?
You try to push it, you try to rush it, you just do.
The yeast that had been fed the complex diet, the savorers,
you slow down,
out-survived the fast eaters.
Take a morning just to watch an old video you made.
They had to work harder for their nitrogen, which made them pace themselves. The fast eaters burned through their supplies and then died. The savorers,
I don't know what that little zoom in and out every once in a while is.
Now we're slightly more complicated than yeast. We have eyes, arms, and a whole bunch of other things. But we are similar to yeast in the sense that we thrive under pressure. When things are easy, we get bored, look for an escape. When things are too hard, we give up in frustration.
The stretch zone.
However, when things are appropriately challenging, we transcend.
I had a podcast with Adam.
Entering a state.
We covered the stretch. He had a big complicated word for it, but it's actually like.
We can only get.
It's a good place to be
when we're doing something that we consider meaningful. Hence, meaning comes from challenging yourself, at least mildly. When you regularly challenge yourself, mentally, physically, and financially, you get to spend more time in the state of flow, which leads to better results. Better results leads to more opportunities. And more
once you have all the opportunities, you need to learn to cut them out.
Isn't that what you want?
It's like, yeah, you got all these options. The world is your oyster. You got too many. You can only eat so many oysters. You ever try to eat an entire ocean of oysters? It's too much. You need to say no to a lot of them
with the mind
and choose that one oyster, that one thing that will actually get you there
body and earn more money. While countless things can influence your mental well-being,
three's okay.
For the sake of simplicity, I've narrowed it down to 3.
Calm, connect, community.
Calm,
I can still
create,
relate with that. I'm going to write that
and
one down.
community. As you can probably tell, I'm a big advocate for mindfulness. As a result, several of the activities I run my clients through during the Life Jugglers program revolve around some sort of mindfulness practice. Meditation, the ultimate form of mindfulness, has been described as shaving away the insanity.
Meditation is the most productive
it's
part of my
often seen
day.
as a waste of time by those
Still.
who don't do it. Even if they know its value, they
It's
don't
so
find the time to do it. Meditation works
See?
because it's uncomfortable, not in spite of it. It's often the most productive part of my day. Have you ever tried just sitting there listening to your breath for a while? You get distracted. It's challenging. Even if you're in a line or you're waiting for something, your mind immediately starts to wander.
Oh, yeah.
Dinner. What's the weather like this weekend? What am I doing with my life?
Distraction.
It's terrifying. So we block it out with distractions before we even have the chance to get.
I get it. It's fucking
distract
terrifying.
ourselves.
Empty space. It's
Because we're
terrifying.
scared
That's why
of
I got
empty
2
space.
videos on top of each other here.
It's easier for us to avoid looking directly into the uncomfortable situation. But it's crucial that we do. Danger is real. Fear is in the mind. The more you look away from something, the bigger and scarier it gets. When instead, you decide to turn towards the thing, then it gets smaller.
What about you?
Something a lot of
What
people
scares
would
you?
consider pretty scary is jumping out of a plane with a parachute. I'm also one of those people. But I did it anyways. When I went skydiving in New Zealand, I had bigger problems. On the drive to the airport, my car started to feel a bit sluggish. Now, I'm no mechanic, but I was pretty sure I blew the engine. The temperature gauge had gone from its happy middle ground to far beyond the red zone. Luckily, we were at our destination. That was still 2 hours away from where we called home, and we could be stranded there. But whatever. There's no time to deal with the car right now.
Not
There's a
at all
plane
how
to
that
jump out
happened.
of,
I was
and the weather's not
terrified
getting any nicer,
until
so
we
suited up
fell out of the door.
and we got on the plane. The car was a problem for later. Falling face
When I
first,
fell out of the door,
200
it was a
kilometers
distraction.
an
I
hour.
wasn't thinking about the
It's a
engine
great
anymore. I
distraction.
was falling from the sky.
It's hard enough to breathe, let alone think about what I'm going to do about my car. From the time the door opened at 13,000 feet until I stood up on the grass, I was totally immersed in the moment. I was skydiving. Then, as soon as I stood up, I remembered, I have a car. That car has a problem. And cars are cooled by water. So maybe I can put some water in the radiator and see what happens. So that's what I did. I put some water in the radiator
Not
and
cool.
it was leaking out. Okay, cool. 20 minutes later,
that part
I put
worked.
this magical solution in the radiator that patched the hole and we were on our way home. Before the jump, I was in a stressed, reactive mindset, unable to think about anything but my car. We are screwed. We are stuck.
This makes me
what
think
are
I
we
need to
gonna
go
do?
jump out of a plane
Then the jump, let's call it
to make
a
space
forceful
between me
meditation,
and my current problem.
created enough space between me and the problem that I could see a solution. What problems might you solve if you could
That
distance
pause.
yourself from them?
That was good. I like that.
Your problems will probably be different than mine. But whatever they are, mindfulness can help you get better results. It shaves away the distractions.
I used to meditate
Giving
a
you
lot. Now I
the
go for long
calm
walks
you need
without my
to
phone
accomplish
and
great
with like
things.
nothing. Just me, myself, and
What
I.
about fun?
Because you can
What do
only
you
hold
do?
on to your thoughts for so long.
Solving
3
problems
hours
doesn't have to be
walk,
only for work.
you're gonna let go
In
of
a
a lot
world
more than you hold on to.
hyper-focused on productivity for money,
And
we also
when it
need to
comes
spend some
to
time
creating
just doing
space
something
between your
fun.
problems and you,
Whether it's making videos or
emptiness
memes or playing an
helps.
instrument, doing something new just
See,
because
new
you want
ideas.
to do it is motivating. It boosts your well-being and is a source of new ideas. Most of our days are dictated by the things we have to do. When it gets to be too much, these have to become should. I should
Fuck
go
the
for a
should.
run.
Do
I
it.
should eat less cake. I should call my mom. We should all over ourselves because it feels great. But it accomplishes nothing. Instead of doing new things, we fall back on what's easy and comfortable. At the end of a big day at work, we should do something good. Then we dig into a piece of cake in front of our laptops, watching just one more episode as another night slips away. We're too ambitious. There's big ideas and they're overwhelming, so we never get started. Instead of looking at the big idea and all the problems that come with it, go have some fun. Think, what about that idea excites me? And just do that. Build momentum and the rest will come. Our news feeds are overstuffed with people blowing their own horn about how awesome they are. If you just give them a bit of your money, you can be awesome too. What those people often fail to say is they weren't always great. I didn't always speak like this. I did 3 years
Those courses
of
were
public
Toastmasters.
speaking.
I was ashamed at this point, but I was a Toastmaster for 3 years, and it's an amazing organization. They helped me a lot. It was the first place I ever got to feel I belong.
That you see.
So if you want to practice your public speaking skills,
bad at something.
Join Toastmasters near you.
The difference between the polished version that you often see on social media
and then leave it and
those that
make your own thing, because there's only so much you can get from a fixed course. At some point, you need to go off the beat.
Because they kept doing their thing, they got better at it. Now, they're great at it because they've put in the time and the effort to be great. But before you can be great, you need to be pretty okay. And to be pretty okay, you just need to start. Whatever endeavor you're curious to start doing, have fun with it. The fun will motivate you. It will keep you going. And over time, you'll get better at it. Until it's you who inspires others.
I wanted to rip this guy apart.
The things you do for fun are mindless. They're not helping. I agree with them. They're wasting your value.
I thought I'd grown.
When you depend on others for your entertainment,
turns out I was just distracted.
You're dependent on an external source for joy. Be independent. Own your joy.
I connect.
Once you own your joy,
that's what I did.
You'll connect with others who share your passion. Community. The third C of the mental ball is probably the most important for longevity. The people you surround yourself with, your circle, have the strongest impact on who you are. Yet many of us face the same question. How do you make friends as an adult? I struggled with this question when I moved to Vienna.
Okay, I can be honest here.
I've always struggled with it ever since I left Canada, ever since I left my hometown. But in Vienna,
reason I have friends
for once,
is because I find people I like and I keep
I would
following
move
up
into
with
a
them
flat where
until they agree to be my friend.
Spoke English and they would be my friend. The problem was they were all students and I wasn't. We had such different life experiences that it was hard for us to connect. My theory was wrong. I needed to experiment with other meetups based on my interests, meditation, investment, French, whatever.
I finally said it.
Until I found something that clicked. Toastmasters. That public speaking course. That place I went to learn public speaking. I had never wanted to learn public speaking. I was just experimenting, trying to find people to hang out with. I didn't consider myself good or bad at it. It wasn't even something that's on my radar until I joined the club and realized this is where I belong. The people there were just like me, introverted, curious, often foreign. Suddenly, I wasn't the weird one in the room. I was in a weird room where I belong. To discover where you belong, you need to ask lots of questions, both to yourself and to those around you. Think of some things that have interested you, then ask other people about them. That's how you make friends. It sounds selfish, I know. But when you ask other people about the things that interest you, you'll actually care about the answer. Community is built on the back of good questions. The more interesting you find the answer, the more likely the person you're speaking with is to become a friend. The problem is, most of us ask either
So much
boring
talking.
questions or no questions. We talk about our interests instead of asking about them. It disconnects us from the conversation. No one likes to be talked at, but we love to be asked questions. Conversations get a lot more interesting when we stop talking about ourselves and we start asking about our interests.
People love
Because
to
then
talk
we
about
put the
themselves.
focus on
Let's
the other person
be
and we
straight.
care about the answer. That's why asking other people about
You want the
your
conversation to be
interests is a
interesting?
great way to have a
Focus on what you
conversation.
like and
It
ask it from the other
focuses
person.
the conversation on
This
what
guy
interests
spent
you.
a lot of time on this topic.
If you
Pretty
want to make
straightforward.
friends, ask yourself, what do I want to talk about? Then ask them.
Transitions.
Do you want to talk about money? Juggling the money ball.
I have
It's simple.
dropped this ball.
Live below your means. That's it. Done. On to the money ball. That's it.
That
Done.
was probably meant to be
Onto
edited
the
out.
body ball. Okay, maybe it's not quite that simple. There are two ways to live. There are two ways to live below your means. Spend less or earn more. Until spend less or earn more. Until the money you earn is more than the money you need. While I lived as a traveling winemaker, I had to learn to be frugal. I spent years working an average of 9 months a year.
It turns out that this gave me a really weird mindset.
I had to
where
save enough money.
if no
during
money's
that
coming
period
in, I'm perfectly
to
okay with
carry me
it
for
as
the
long
rest.
as I have reserves.
Not always an easy task when you're traveling. The first step was disconnecting how much I earned from how much I spent. Because when you don't know when your next paycheck is going to come, or if you know it's going to be in a couple of months, you don't have the luxury of just spending freely.
I used an example
If
of a
you've ever
student at
been a
this point
student,
because I haven't
you're
been an
probably
entrepreneur
familiar
yet.
with these
If you've
boom
ever
and
been an
bust
entrepreneur,
cycles.
you know
You
the
work
boom
during
and
the
bust
summer,
cycle
and
a
then you
lot more
spend
than a
during the school
student.
year.
It's a lot of busts
When your income is
and
inconsistent,
watching your money
you
disappear,
need to control
and then
your
finally
spending.
finding
Even
that
if your
one
income is
thing.
consistent, it's still
That's
better
what
to
I need
control
to
your spending.
focus on.
The most powerful
And then
strategy for
focusing
controlling
on it.
your expenses
And suddenly
is to monitor your spending.
you
When you monitor
start
your spending,
earning
you make it
enough
obvious,
to support your
decreasing the
family.
chance that you'll spend
And
on
it feels
unessentials.
so good.
Nowadays, most banks do this automatically, and there's a whole bunch of
He's
apps
falling
that'll
apart
do it
here.
for you. But there is a difference between knowing
This is
and
technical.
monitoring is most effective at controlling your spending when you do it manually.
He
Longer.
really wants to get
That means
to
every
the
time you
details.
spend money, you record it somewhere.
Ooh,
I
that
usually
sounds
use a
nice.
Google Sheet
I
for
kinda
this.
like that.
It works because it
Friction.
creates a little bit of friction in the transaction. That friction
Make it
caused by
difficult.
knowing that I'm going
Make
to
it
have to
easy
pull
to
out my
earn,
phone
hard
and
to
open
spend.
the Google
The
Sheet and
secret
put
of
in
life.
what I bought, how much it was.
Or the
Is
secret of
often
money,
enough
anyways.
to get me to not buy something. The little things add up to big expenses when we average them over a year. E-commerce is making billions by making it as easy as possible for
See,
you to
it's just
spend your
flipping
money.
that.
Take back control by spending
Mindfully.
You don't have to live a restrictive life. Living below your means just means that your monthly income needs to be more than your monthly expenses. If you don't want to spend less, then you can also earn more. Again, simple, not easy. There are many
This
ways.
I
There are
100%
as
agree
many
with, and I
ways
think
to
we're
make
about to
money as there
diverge
are people
into
on
many
the
different
planet.
fields.
Those wonderful hobbies we talked about earlier, the things you're now doing for fun, well, if you get good enough at it, you can start making some money with it. You can start a small side hustle. Don't worry about the logistics. There'll be plenty of time for that if you decide to scale. Just have fun with it. If you make some money, bonus. Remember, life's a juggle. The more work you have in one area, the better it equips you for the others. To optimize
All right,
your
I'll
mental
take this guy's
and your
advice.
physical
I got these
well-being,
barbells near my desk.
you
I
also
never
need
use.
to take care of your body. Your
I might
body
as well.
is kind of
I'm
similar to your bank account. Every time you eat or you do something, you make a transaction. Energy in, energy out. Inaction is also an action.
Oh, I know that one.
Because if you're not
The
doing
winemaker
anything,
bod is disappearing.
your body starts to deteriorate.
Used to carry buckets up and down stairs all day.
But let's first
Now
focus
I
on
need to
energy
think
in.
of using these barbells
The
every once in
optimal
a
diet,
while.
your
And
optimal
and a
diet,
call, and it's
is as unique as you are. And if you want to learn
Needs
more
some
about it,
excitement.
I'm not the guy that can help you. You need to consult with your doctor, your nutritionist, and run a whole bunch of tests. That's not what I'm here for. There are enough people on the internet and in vivo telling you what to eat. I'm going to skip right to how to eat.
Oh man, this guy
And I'm
and
not
his
talking about
mindfulness
sport.
kick.
I'm talking about
Should have
mindset.
stuck with the spork.
Like I said, it's important.
Makes you mindful because it's hard
How
to use. You ever try to eat a soup with a spork?
How,
It's like trying to feed a baby soup.
how does what you eat make you feel? If the food you eat makes you feel full and gives you sustained energy, it's probably good. If it makes you feel lethargic, like melting into a couch and distracting yourself, it's probably bad. Without getting too
This is the
much
face
into
of
the
someone
technical
that is
jargon, though,
unrelaxed.
you need to relax when you eat. When you eat under any type of pressure, your body assumes that you're trying to escape from a lion, which means that it's not worried about digesting the food. It's going to break it down as little as possible, store it as fat, and save it for later. But that later doesn't come because then there's more food. Instead, the best way to eat is to relax and pair your meal with great conversation and a tall glass of water.
It's a good call.
Every time you
Water.
eat, have some water and take some sips. Breathe. Extend
No
your
mindfulness
meal.
there, just
Take
gulping
the
it down.
time. Food is a luxury, not a chore. And this way, your body will be able to tell you when it's full. I think we've all eaten under pressure because we felt we had to. You force it down, you eat way too much, too fast, and then you spend the rest of the afternoon in a food coma. Your stomach feels like you ate a rock and your productivity crashes through the floor. So you take a coffee to try to lift yourself, but all it does
Avoid
is
the
make you more
edginess
edgy.
with decaf.
Remember, breaks make you more productive. Enjoy your meal.
Just
Once you've enjoyed your meal, you're ready to start burning the energy that it gave you. Probably that means sitting in a chair for the rest of the day and maybe sliding in some exercise in the evening. But use it or lose it is particularly true when it comes to fitness. To maintain mobile freedom, you need to start actively working on it. Let's use the example of climbing a set of stairs. As you climb those stairs, you're fighting gravity, which engages your fast twitch muscles. These give you the strength to go up the stairs. Then, that repetitive
again into the
the
technical
repetitive
stuff.
nature of the
Just
stairs engages your slow twitch
Do
muscles,
stuff. Move
which
naturally.
keep you going.
what you enjoy.
Step after step.
I like
after
having
step,
barbells by my
and give
desk
you the
because every once in a
stability
while I
you
lift them
need
up.
to
I
not
have
fall
iron
back down.
balls for juggling
These
because
muscle
I thought
fibers
that would be a good
wouldn't
way to
work without
on my
a
forearms.
steady supply of energy.
When my
which
mind
is where
feels
your
full and I
cardiovascular
can't
system
focus
steps
anymore,
in.
I go for a run.
And why your heart is usually pumping a lot more when
Choose
you're
the
at the top of the
stairs.
stairs than it was when you're at the bottom. These are the 3 S's of body. Your strength,
Ooh, there's an
strength.
edit there. It's interesting
Your
because
strength,
there was a lot more editing
your
than you did.
stamina, and your stability. We will all age. And as we do, these things will only degrade. What you do now matters. And you can go to the gym for hours pumping iron, running on a rubber band, and then stretching it out on a yoga mat. But for most of us, 6 hours at the gym every day is not realistic. In fact, real change happens outside of the gym, in the everyday choices that we make. When you choose to take the stairs instead of the escalator, you're adding a little workout to your day. If you have a break, you can do
And
some
here
push-ups.
it says break, but
Just
if you're
working
waiting for
some
AI
fitness
or your
into your
computer
life
to load
gives you
or
more
some,
energy.
if you're waiting for something to load, do some push-ups.
When
Fit
you-
them into your life. Perfect opportunity to be either
You don't
mindful
want
or
the feeling of helplessness that comes
instead
from
of
being-
staring at the screen
from losing
in frustration
your
that it's
ability.
taking so long. Ugh.
For most of us, this is a choice,
Do something.
not genetics.
It's easier.
If you keep living the way that you're living now, how will you feel and look in 10, 20, or 30 years? Is that the person you want to be? If not, today's the day to start moving. If you do, you can accomplish amazing things. While running the Prague Marathon with my brother, somewhere around kilometer 30, this little old lady passed us. She must have been at least 80. We were both healthy men in our 30s. But she passed us. She showed us what's possible if you keep at it, you stay fit, while shattering our egos. You don't need to go out and run a marathon tomorrow. Start where you are. If you haven't run in years, start by just going for a walk. 5 kilometers a day is a great way to start. Because the goal here isn't a quick fix. It's a sustainable lifestyle change. The more sustainable you make the change, the more likely it is to stick. When you juggle your mind, your money, and your body sustainably, you'll start to grow exponentially. You will be ready for whatever comes your way. It all comes down to pushing your mental, physical, and financial boundaries and getting out of your comfort zone before it squeezes you. Life isn't these big goals. Even a marathon, it's not 42.2 kilometers. It's 2 half marathons. Just over 4 10Ks. Or just over 8 5Ks. If you've done enough of the short runs, you can do the long one. Life is a marathon filled with sprints of productivity. Now that you're looking at your life in terms of mind, money, and body, it's your turn to do something challenging. Make it big. Something that'll take months to accomplish. A mission. Then break it down into something you can do today. That's where sustainable habits come from. Having a goal big enough that you develop a habit while reaching it.
A guiding light at the end of the tunnel.
And a system.
You need to know where you're going. Otherwise, you're going
when you
everywhere
know what to
and
do,
nowhere.
how to do it, and why you want to do it, you become unstoppable.
I needed to listen to this guy.
But it can be hard
Now
to
I
figure
know
it out on your own.
what I need to
It
do.
took me 3 years to figure mine out.
Enjoy.
You could
the
have
next one
your
will be
system in place
Purple
in
Burger.
as little as 12 weeks. Shall we have a call and see what's possible?
All right. So this has been Life Jugglers. And if you want to see what happens or what it looks like a year later, watch the next video.